All right, so it's been a pretty interesting week. We had some highs. We're back into not quite lows, but a little bit down from the highs that we had. And what is going on? Why is the price back down again? What am I doing with my trades? And what macro forces are going on right now that we may not realize that might be affecting the price of Bitcoin and the overall market? Jumping straight into it, we can see Bitcoin did break below our pennant here. We came down. We put in a low at about 62.5-ish thousand. I was waiting for the entry. I was expecting us to actually break the lower region of this. And I thought, you know what? There's going to be a lot of people who are very excited about going short. So when we break this, there's going to be tons of shorts that flood into the market. And if I saw that that was actually what was playing out, and we grabbed the liquidity below here, and came into the liquidity zone here, which you can see we just touched, that's the reason why I opened this long position. Now, that was very well timed this time around. It's not always going to be perfect, but the thesis played out well. Now, as we pushed up, we came back above this region here, and this is where I closed out about a third of the position. So I banked in, I think it was $12,000 profit, $12,500 profit here. We now have about $11,500 left in this trade. And why haven't I closed it yet? Even though we've had 3 days of down, I actually want to take the risk, right? I want to take a punt here with what's left in this trade. I'll stop this out at break even if we do come down really to close to this region. Maybe I'll keep it open a little bit into this region in case we get another grab of that liquidity. But I think that there is a chance here that we do continue higher. Now, of course, I may be wrong and that may not play out, which is why I closed out that $12,000. That totals our last trade $18,000 profit, this one $12,000. So about $30,000 this month in February, which I'm very happy with in a bear market, but in long trades. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Now, who might be moving the price? Well, we've been hearing about these guys. Jane Street, 1.6 billion silver short by these guys. They've got a 1.6 billion silver short, 40 billion crypto, 4.3 billion India. I'm not sure what that means, but Bitcoin daily manipulation, daily stock market manipulation, and it's pretty clear that they've been manipulating this market considering the lawsuits that have just been opened. And what's really interesting, if you haven't been paying attention, right, these lawsuits I think were opened on like Monday, and then Tuesday we saw the rally of Bitcoin suggesting that maybe they pulled back from the manipulation in Bitcoin, manipulation in the markets. Now, I think it's important to realize that we're probably never really going to know what goes on, right? It's pretty much the case that these massive whales, institutions, banks, they do what they want. Right? They do what they want. They manipulate the market, governments and all of that, pretend like they care, pretend like they're looking out for us, pretend like they're going out for them. But really, they don't. Nothing ever changes and it continues. So what's important for me to realize is there's nothing I can do to change it. So what do? I try and do, or at least follow where they might be moving the market. And that's exactly why I look at the data, the leverage data, right? And something interesting is happening. As we head down, shorts are now piling back into the market. As we were heading up, longs were piling into the market. And I told you it's a little bit uncomfortable here, which is why, of course, again, another reason I took out some of that profit. Rather than holding it all, I have to bank the profit to protect the downside, right? Even now as well in this trade, I could add in the profit I took back out and actually get a bigger position for the next leg, which may be something I do if we do come maybe back down to go below 65. You can see that's the local low here. Maybe if we go back into this region, I could bolster this position. But the way I trade in these market environments is I do it very hands-on, right? Now, according to Crypto Rover, we have Bitcoin having a 3-day death crossing right now. And what you'll actually find from death crosses, right, is they tend to actually catch the bottom. You can see here, 2019 bottom, 2020 launchpad, 2022 generational entry. Death crosses marked opportunity, not the end. Now, of course, everything can change. It's not always the same, but this is an interesting phenomenon to always pay attention to in the markets. When they're the most painful, the most scary, the most, people are so guaranteed that this is a scam or whatever, it's normally such a good opportunity. And what we're seeing happen right here is interesting because it does look extremely similar. There is still a potential on the cards, in my opinion, that we are in this sort of region right here. All right, time will tell, but let's see. Maybe we do move up. I think more likely than not, we're in this bear market, which a lot of people don't realize. It's a year of down and we're already a third of the way through. The same happened in the last bear market. It was a year of down, right? A year of down and then 3 years of up. And people don't like to think that because they would rather dwell on how horrible and painful everything is. But again, in the horrible and painful market environment, with assets you believe in, it shows opportunity. I started my YouTube channel because I saw so many YouTubers talking about crypto and the way I thought about crypto in 2017. And the way I thought about it was it goes up only, right? Basically, as it goes up, that money is now banked in. I now have that money. That was the mindset. I didn't understand the huge amounts of volatility, right? So I saw YouTubers talking about it. I started saying, guys, you need to take profits. I didn't take profits in my 2017 bull run, but I'm going to be taking profits in this one. And that's what I did, right? So I started the channel. I started taking profits. Great. Then we went into a bear market once again. And I was like, you know what? This time I'm going to deploy as much capital as I possibly can, right? This is the moment. Bitcoin, Solana, XRP, a little bit of Doge here and there, right? I'm going to deploy this capital because I believe in this market. And we went on to another bull market. So at that point, right, which was only 6 months to a year ago, at that point, I really solidified the opinion here that buying the long-term assets that you believe in. I'm not telling you to buy Bitcoin. I'm not telling you to buy Amazon, S&P 500. Those are what I believe in. You need to figure out what you believe in so you can have this sort of conviction, right? And then I'm doing exactly the same thing. And that's not perfectly timing the bottom of a bear market. It's not getting the perfect entries for my DCA. What it is taking advantage of the fear and slowly building these positions as big as I can, right? And I'll see you guys in the next one.